Fox News alert on new developments in the Penn State sex abuse scandal. We are starting to get new details on Coach Jerry Sandusky's likely defense. He is, of course, facing criminal charges for allegedly raping and molesting at least 8 boys. The main eyewitness in the case thus far is a guy named Mike McQueary, who was a grad assistant at the time, who told the grand jury he witnessed one of the rapes. And now this week, that guy, Mike McQueary, has changed his story a little bit, at least with respect to his own behavior, trying to say, contrary to earlier reports, he did call police and he did stop the rape. Here's Sandusky's attorney just hours ago.
I think there's a serious credibility issue here, and quite frankly, what I'm hoping is that if there is, that the folks from Penn State who have been totally destroyed by this mess will be vindicated at an early stage rather than at a later stage of this process.
Ellis Cannon is the publisher of Pittsburgh Sports Report and a former trial attorney. Ellis, it appears that he will be teeing up this guy, Mike McQueary, who sent this email out trying to rehabilitate himself this week and may have really harmed the case in doing so. Tell us.
Well, he does open himself up to credibility questions, Megan, and that's something he's going to have to deal with. But we have to go back to the very beginning. Of course, his criminality and a determination of that really turned on whether or not he reported or provided notice. And obviously the grand jury felt that he satisfied
Right, well, that's McQueary, but we're talking about Sandusky's defense, and we hear from the lawyer today, they're going to go after this guy, Mike McQueary.
Sure.
That's how it looks.
Oh, absolutely. Again, he's such a pivotal figure to all this, and I know there's some moral outrage associated with what he did or didn't do, but it all has to be placed into the context of recognizing he is an absolutely critical witness for the prosecution. So he was not charged by the grand jury or by the attorney general. Conveniently or otherwise, he is critical as a witness going forward in the case against Sandusky, and certainly you can understand why any defense will focus on him, at least preliminarily.
You know, Ellis, do me a favor. Stand by just for a minute, because I want to bring in Greg Jarrett. He's covering the legal issue in this case for a Fox News Channel special set to air this weekend. Going to go to Greg, then I'm going to come back to you, Ellis. Greg?
Yeah, I would say that McQueary is a very important witness, but remember, you're going to have at least a half a dozen alleged victims who are going to be telling very similar stories of molestation and sexual abuse and rape. And those are the principal witnesses in this case. So can prosecutors do without McQueary? Probably. And remember this, just because you've got Sandusky's lawyer throwing cold water on McQueary, that doesn't mean in the end he's not a credible witness.
But Ellis, what the thing about McQueary is, you know, they'll do to these alleged victims, you know, the old, you want to sue Penn State, which is a deep pocket. You know, you only came forward now. This is what they do. But McQueary, unlike, you know, these others, what reason does he have? He was a grad assistant at the time. You know, think what you will about him and whether he failed to, you know, stop this or not. He was a grad assistant at the time. These coaches were like gods. Why would he make something up like this about a coach whom at the time we presume he respected?
Well, obviously, that's exactly what the prosecution's going to say, is they build up his credibility. And that credibility has been extended for a number of years with him on the sidelines representing the university in one capacity or the other. So, absolutely. I mean, this is sort of why the last couple of times you and I have talked, I've tried to place him into the context of, A, the culture at that time, and recognizing his significance in the case going forward. He is going to be important. He's a piece of the puzzle, and really, I don't think it really helps the prosecution of the case to relitigate the morality of what he did or didn't do 10 years ago.
I'm sure it doesn't, but obviously in the news we talk about all aspects of the case, and we're not here to help or hurt the prosecution. Greg, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Meg, remember, this grand jury report, the only thing we've seen or read, it's 23 pages long. It's only an outline, a sketch of what McQueary said. When we actually see the transcript of what he told the grand jury, it could be consistent with his emails. He may be a very credible, important witness.
We'll find out. Guys, thank you both so much. Ellis, Greg, thank you.
Sure.
And folks, you can see more of Greg's reporting in a special that airs this weekend, The Crisis at Penn State. It's hosted by John Roberts. Greg's done yeoman's work on it, and it's Saturday night, Fox News Channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Time.